Hello friends, this will be tutorial number 6 in C programming language course. In this tutorial we will talk about if statement. And first we will create one variable integer x. And now we want to input this variable. We will use scanf %d, it's integer variable, and we will use the reference for the variable x, of course. But first we will need one statement. We will just write enter x /n. And now what we gonna do? We will write one condition. For example, if x is greater than 10, we will just write text. Like in the other languages, if statement has a body, let's write the text printf, and we'll just write x is greater than 10. This will be our statement, and we can run it. Now let's use build and run, enter x, and if we type 23, we will have a response: x is greater than 10. And this is if statement. This means it will run only if x is greater than 10. For example, if we are type enter x, we will type 6. Nothing will happen. This is pretty much simple. This is control statement. We have here one condition. If x, variable x, is greater than 10, this statement will run. Otherwise, nothing will happen. And the same thing if we type enter x, if we type 10. Of course 10 is not greater than 10 and nothing will happen. And when we write if statement, we also can have else statement. Else statement will run. It will be vice versa. It will run if this condition is not true. Now we can create else statement. Else statement will have a body also. And now what can we write? X is not greater, or we can write x is lesser than 10, for example. And now we can run the statement. Of course, if we type 15, we will have statement x is greater than 10. But let's type 0. As you can see, x is lesser than 10. What happens? We input variable x, and first it's always we have if condition, and we are checking if condition. We have x will be is 0. Is 0 greater than 10? No, it's not true. And when if condition is not good, is not true, else statement will run. But also, of course, we can have a couple of if statements. We can have an if statement doesn't need to have else statement. But we have, in this condition, we have if and else statement, but we can type x will be 10 and x is lesser than 10. But we have why is that 10 is not lesser than 10, but we write that condition. We have if statement. If x is greater than 10, this statement will run. But otherwise, else statement will run. And if a condition is checking, is 10 greater than 10, condition is not good, is not true, and automatically else statement will run. But for example, if we are typing 10, we want to have, for example, we could have a statement x equals to 10, which will be good. And how we can do that? Can we do that? Of course we can. But instead of else statement here, we can write another condition. We can write, for example, else if. And we can write a condition. If x is lesser than 10, this means first this condition is checked. First if condition is checked, and if condition is true, it doesn't check anything else. Else if statement, it doesn't matter. But first, if condition is not good, then program is checking another condition, else if statement, and it will check if x is lesser than 10. And we can also write here else statement. And this else statement will run, for example, if condition is not true. And also else if condition is not true, then else statement will run. Okay, first we are checking if x is greater than 10, then we are checking if x is lesser than 10, and if both conditions are not true, we will write a statement x will be equals to 10, which will be good. Now we can check all of these three conditions. Enter x, so we will type 25. And as you can see, x is greater than 10. Now if we type enter x, we'll type 7, and x is lesser than 10, which is correct. And if we type 10, as you can see, we have x equals to 10. We forgot we could type /n here, but it doesn't matter. And as you can see, first we are checking if condition, then we are checking if it's not correct, else if condition will be checked, and if both conditions are not true, else statement will run. Of course, if condition is good, then it doesn't matter the program if checking this condition. If x is greater than 10, this statement will run. For example, if it's not correct, else if statement will run, and otherwise if both conditions are not good, then else statement will run. And I really hope that you understanding this, because it is pretty much the same as we have in other languages. And I really hope that you like this tutorial. If you like this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram. You have a link in the description, and I will see you in the next tutorial.